When I was about 4 years old, I had started suffering with seizures, and I was on medication, and I was just very drugged up, very groggy in my thinking, and I used to get them every single day, and I would go into comas and end up in the hospital. And I suffered a lot with the seizures because it made me have a severe memory loss, and I went from an 8th grade level down to a 2nd grade level after coming out of the hospital. And I had to relearn how to hold a spoon, motor skills. And now I've caught up on my grades. I'm now wrapping up 9th in a month, and I'll be doing 10th. And as I started visiting the chiropractor, Dr. Jury, he started adjusting me, and he's totally weaned me off all the medication they had me on. And I get a seizure, 1 or 2 of them, about once a month, every so often. And now I'm totally off the medication. I barely get any seizures, and I'm actually thinking of becoming an upper cervical chiropractor. I'll be graduating next year, and he's actually going to start training me once I finish college at Sherman College of Chiropractic, and he has an office ready for me. And, but anyway, I've been off my medication for 4 years, and I haven't been in the hospital and haven't suffered with the seizures that as bad for about 4 years. So I haven't even been in the hospital at all. The doctors are wondering what's going on here. They've even gotten a little upset that I'm off the medication, but we've told them about the chiropractor, and they're still, like, oh no, And then, so I'm just totally thankful to Dr. Dre for all the help he's given me. He's gotten me a long way, and it feels great to be well.
The excitement I feel at seeing her transformed. I would have never expected to see her off medicine. I mean, she was so sick. She used to have from 25 to 54 seizures a day. And it was always an escapade at home because we always had her, if her seizures were severe enough, she would stop breathing. And I had to do, mouth resuscitation and whatever, and drive at the same time, taking her to the hospital, and she would be on life support systems. And, it gets really old really fast when you live that type of life. Being divided between my oldest daughter and running with her, it was really difficult. And what they had told us was that because her seizures were so bad, she wasn't going to be around too long, maybe 12, maybe 13. And she was on very heavy medication that kept her extremely drugged up. They thought it was the only way to keep the brain in a form, not being so active where it didn't have all these storms inside of it. And a lot of times the medicines were so high that we would have to strap her at the table to her seat because she would droop over from being drugged. And when Dr. Jury got her and he asked a few questions, she was like in la la land because of the medicines. And those first few years were fuzzy for her. But I've seen her be so determined. This kid eats and dreams to become an upper cervical doctor because of the change it has done in her life. We're backing her up 100%. We have never seen her so mentally clear. We have never seen her go after something in such a devoted manner for one so young. And we're standing behind her, and her neurologist, which still they don't want to let go, threatened to sue us because medical neglect, because she's not taking any medicines. And then he realized she's 18 already, there's nothing they can do, so we had to pass through that. But in all our difficult times, dealing with the medical doctors and weaning her. Dr. Jury was always there holding our hand, advising us, taking time out to see her, even at times that she wasn't even scheduled to come in. And he's not just a doctor, he is a great friend to us. And we thank him.
Tell me about you.
I almost forgot about me. Typical of moms. But when I was bringing Amanda to him, I was in the process of deciding who I was going to give my children to, because I had an advanced case of COPD, and that's chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And even though it's a disease that strikes people that are much older, I had a real advanced case of it, and I had oxygen at home, and I had 100-foot tubing so that I could walk around the house. And I used to use the oxygen, leave it in the car because I was embarrassed, and then take Amanda into Dr. Jury and take myself in. And I remember that it started getting really, really bad. I was in the hospital a lot. I know a lot of times that I came into the office, Glenda was there, and you could hear my breathing. It was so bad. And he would do adjustments. And I know that, God did perform a miracle in my case. But I also know that God used Dr. Jury to keep me in that state of health. The last thing they had told me was that I had to, not only put my house in order, have some type of will where I was going to leave my children, but to go coffin shopping. That's the only thing I couldn't do. I was like, yeah, right, you go coffin shopping. But I'm here today. I'm extremely well. Every time I have to be checked every 6 months, and every time I go in and they give me the breathing test, everything is fine. I breathe fine. I also sleep lying down, which is fantastic because I had to sleep sitting up all the time, and your sides hurt from sitting all the time. And I run, I play, I even broke an ankle playing soccer. So I am really, really well, and I can't begin to tell you the transformation that has happened in my family because of the care we have received, because of doctors that looked at things different and had the courage to step out and share what they were learning, even though it might not have been popular at that time that they started. But they sure are taking wind under their wings, And I think God is really launching and expanding them beyond what they think they're going to expand.
Amen.